Hey, welcome back to another episode of Wholistic Conversations. I'm your host, Brittany, and today we have an amazing guest. Extraordinary guest. Freo, he is really taking over hip hop in the most beautiful, conscious, and abundant way. So help me in welcoming Freo.
Give thanks and praise. It's an honor to be here. It's a blessing. Beautiful Atlanta. Feeling good.
Yep, and thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm super excited for this episode.
Yeah.
I think your fans have been waiting to hear who is Freo.
Yeah, unlock the mystery.
Yes. So I would love to start off the episode with choosing some random cards.
Okay.
So we're just going to, get to know each other just very authentically. So pull a card, and we'll both answer the question, so you're not alone here.
Just one?
Yep. Okay, I'll pull one too. Boom. Pick a question on a card, read it, answer it, I'll answer it, and let's see.
Okay, so mine says, do you have a 5-year plan? If yes, what does it look like?
Okay.
A 5-year plan. Mm-hmm. I don't got it all the way written out, you know what I'm saying, like on a whiteboard or in a notepad, but when I'm visualizing in 5 years, it's just like building the empire, you know what I mean? Like all types of generational wealth built for my family, reaching the masses and helping inspire and change the world at the highest level possible on huge stages, and really just being able to service the people that really need this message freely in my creativity, just traveling the world, getting all the passports stamped. Taking this thing to the top. Yes. Pretty much 5 years, shit. That's a long time from now. Like,
for sure.
I feel like a lot of things right now it's kind of going bigger or faster, than I can like really comprehend or imagine. So 5 years, that seemed like a whole nother lifetime. Yeah. 5 years ago, I wasn't even Freo yet. So it's like, shit. But yeah. I'm excited for what's to come in that 5 years.
Yes, I'm excited for you as well. I see great things happening for you. For my 5-year plan, I kind of feel the same. I feel like it's really God's plan.
Yeah,
to sum it all up, because I can write down goals and what I hope to accomplish, but really what God has in store for me is way more and bigger than what I can actually write down.
What we can fathom and what we think we in control of, it ain't even that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I got something.
Okay, and my card is reading, what is your favorite memory of your dad?
Okay, what's that?
Okay, mine is my favorite memory. I have a lot, but I think the one that stand out the most for me is when he showed up for me. I think it was for my baby shower. I was living in Michigan, and I was in the kitchen, and I remember like a knock at the door, and someone was like, "Yeah, who are you?" And then I remember him saying, "Oh, I'm Brittany's dad." And when I tell you, my heart dropped, and I was just filled with love. And I was like, wow, he really showed up for me. So that's my favorite memory of him.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's cool. Shit. Some of my favorite memories of my dad is just, young, being in his home studio, in the back bedroom. All musicians find a way to have something in the house, just being exposed to that, being on the keyboard, making beats with him when I was like 10 years old, just like building my musical chops with him. I feel like is my favorite memories. Like, it kind of span over a great period of time, not really just one is sticking out, but just those experiences that I got, him teaching me scales and chords on the keyboard, just like showing me different music theory, playing me different music from inspiration. So a lot of that helped build to sonically where I'm at now.
Perfect. Yeah. And now we're going to pull another card. We're going to do a total of 3 cards.
Heard that? 3, that's the magic number. Let's see. Okay. When were you the happiest?
Okay.
That's a good question. Might be right now.
I feel you.
At this stage in my life, just the way things is coming together, the way like the vision is crystallizing, and the things that I wish for and work for is actualizing, coming into reality. That's making me happy. See my family taken care of, you know, off of my passion is making me happy, you know, watching my kids grow up. So
Yeah.
right now, definitely, this time is definitely as much, you know, it's ups and downs, it's trials and tribulations, but generally, this is definitely, I'd say, probably the happiest time in my life.
I once again agree. This is really the happiest time of my life. I feel like I am really in my purpose. Really, I feel like I'm doing everything I dreamed. Like, ideally, I always ask to like be able to authentically be myself and help other people and get paid from it. And I feel like literally that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like my biggest dream is to be on stage and speaking to others, but right now I feel like I'm able to do that, especially with my business. I'm selling health food products that I'm selling thousands of products,
Wow.
you know, that is helping people create a healthier lifestyle.
That's beautiful.
And so I'm like helping people, I'm talking to them, and I feel like I'm living my dream right now. So
yeah, give thanks for that.
Happiest,
That's something to celebrate.
I agree.
For real.
What relationship motivates you? Really, my children. They motivate me. They ground me.
How many you got?
2. I got 2 daughters, Lavender and Sage.
Lavender and Sage. That's cool. That's what's up.
Thank you. Yeah, they motivate me. They motivate me to be the best me, but also like the most fun me, the most strict me too, because they need organization with them being homeschooled. So they need both sides of me. So they definitely motivate me the most.
Yeah, I would agree with that one though. You know, I got 3.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a beautiful journey, and that definitely is something that keeps my spark going. You know, knowing that I want to actually take the responsibility of setting them up. You know what I'm saying? Not just like, you know, getting by and doing the status quo. So yeah, just setting them up for, you know, all types of freedom. You know, to really align their path in a way where it's like, yeah, my dad supported me, made sure I had what I needed, and he set me up for a beautiful life. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Okay.
I would agree.
Last card.
Yeah. Okay. Do I have any embarrassing memories from school? Interesting. I was kind of like, in school, I was mad quiet though, like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like kind of little social anxiety kind of in school. So I was real quiet. I stayed out the way. I wasn't really like drawing too much attention to myself. Not one really thing comes to mind as an embarrassing moment from school, but I do have one that's not from school that stands out.
Let's talk about
I'm gonna share that one. Yeah. So I went to this concert, right? Who concert was it? Damn. I think it was like ASAP. It was ASAP Mob or something. I went to this concert and was watching ASAP Ferg perform. I'm in Philly. I'm kind of up near the front row. And like at the time, this was a different time. Like this was like in that, you know, Chief Keef era, like Chicago drill music era. You know, we all had the dreads. I had the dreads covering my whole face and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm at the show, you know, we turn it up, we vibing or whatever. And I think this might have been the first year I picked the mic up. So it's probably 2015. So we in the crowd and then, you know, they go up like, oh, who in the crowd could rap? Who in the crowd could rap? And I didn't volunteer to rap, but like all these fucking people around me, they see me and they seen that I look like Chief Keef at the time. Cause I'm dark. my dreads is like covering my face and it was just like that energy, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like a group of these drunk white boys or whatever, they around me, they start like, Chief Keef, like talking about me. So they was trying to like, you know, I just feel people like pushing me forward. Like, I'm like, bro, like, I ain't even really trying to do this shit, cause like I'm not experienced yet. Like, I had been rapping probably all of a week, like by that time. So I was not ready to be, you know, on stage at the TLA, like in Philly, like the premier, you know, venue with all of this shit going on. So that happened. And then like they pushed me to the front, and I think like then ASAP Ferg or somebody, they noticed me. They told security to pull me on stage.
Okay.
So then I'm on stage like, bro, like, what the fuck is about to go down? Because I'm not prepared for this. I'm not ready for this. I ain't asked for this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I was really just a producer at the time. Like, I wasn't even really rapping yet. Like, I was making beats and shit like that. So I was like, I'm straight up with them niggas. I'm like, bro, like, I'm a producer. Like, I don't even do this shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I think I said something like that on the mic. And then them niggas was like, yo, get off the stage, dog. They kicked me right off the stage. They kicked my ass off the stage. And I'm like, bro, that was mad crazy. Because I'm like, bro, I'm just here trying to vibe. Y'all niggas put me on the spot. Like, it was a whole moment. Like, it was embarrassing in the moment. But after the concert, I got over it. I'm like, man, like, that's just a story to tell. But during that 30 seconds or whatever where that shit was happening, I'm like, yo, this is nuts, bro. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Not from school, but that's like the, I guess, embarrassing moment that come to mind for me. I'm like, yo, that was not it.
For sure.
But yeah. School wasn't too bad, but I stayed out the way. Like, I wasn't really like in the mix. I was quiet. And then with school, I kind of like, once I really figured out I wanted to do music, like seriously, by the time I was in 9th grade, I started like just failing everything by that point. Like, I was very smart. It had nothing to do with intelligence, but it's just like the curriculum and where I saw my path going, I no longer saw the value in it. So I didn't show up. I'm just like, the only credits I got in my freshman year of high school was for band. And that was literally it. Everything else was a fail. Like, the music class was the only thing I got credits in that year. And even that, I stopped going to that because the damn instructor was like on some boot camp shit. I'm like, nah, like, I ain't signed up for this just to play instruments, you know what I mean? So, yeah. How about you, though? You got one?
I do. It's funny because the one I'm thinking about, I'm like, do I want to say that or not? You know? But let me think. I remember being at a lunch table, and I don't recall what started the argument, but this one guy was messing with me, and I did not like him. We didn't like each other.
Right.
But at some point, I just remember like pushing my lunch tray right onto him.
Damn.
And then we in the cafeteria.
Right, food fight.
So it didn't turn to a food fight, but I remember like having to apologize and stuff like that. So I would say that's the first one that came to mind.
Yeah. Public school is an interesting dynamic.
It is. Okay, how different would your life be without social media, and why?
Damn.
And I feel like realistically, my life would be the same. I feel like what I'm doing right now don't require me to have social media. And when I say what I'm doing right now, I mean like just as far as my business.
Yeah.
90% of my business, I'm in different stores, so I don't have to be the face of my company, and I'm more behind the scenes. So my life would really be the same, to be honest. What about
That's
you?
cool. Mine wouldn't. Just because, I've used social media as like my main tool of like getting people to my music. Obviously without it, I would have found a way. I'd have been out in the streets. I'd have been, doing something. But for me, I feel like I need some time like that though. I do need to unplug at some point for like a month without really my phone in nature somewhere, Costa Rica or something where it's like, I ain't worried about none of this. But right now with the momentum and everything going on, right now it's like more important than it's ever been. You know what I'm saying? Like just the way it's going up. So I feel like I would be a little, maybe more relaxed without having to worry about, keeping up with it. But at the same time, even though it can be looked at like as work, keeping up with it, I'm also enjoying having that as a creative outlet, because that's where I express myself visually. Like, with the sound, you hear it, but visually, that's where you can see me. That's where I can make my videos, and that's where I can like, reach millions of people for free. So, I mean,
for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. But having that time to unplug is definitely something I'm looking forward to, once like get to that point. You know what I mean?
No, I understand that. So what would you say is your earliest memory of your childhood that when you look back on and say, that was the first piece to this puzzle?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, how was I? I think I was 8 years old.
Okay.
I'm 8 years old. And in the school band. You know, they had their tryouts. And I had already, you know, my pop was already a musician, so I had already been messing around, but I had never really like started the music discipline yet, you know what I'm saying? But when I was 8 years old, they got school band tryouts in the cafeteria, the music instructor coming there on the stage, and he had a snare drum. And the kids was lining up, you know, to try out for drums. I'm like, yeah, that's just what I wanted to do. So you had the snare drum, the instructor would play a rhythm, and you had to copy it, basically.
Okay.
And when I did that, it felt like I had been doing that shit like my whole life. I feel like I had been doing it for lifetimes already. It felt natural. I did it perfect. And then I'm just like, that moment it clicked. I'm like, yeah, this is like what I'm going to do. So, you know, drumming, that was like my thing. You know, elementary school, middle school, I was on the band, the marching band, all that. And I was even in a band with my childhood friends, you know, my mom basement in the garage, you know, making all type of noise, you know, but she was always there to support.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what kicked off like my musical discipline, you know, like showing up, practicing, working on songs, learning theory, you know, just like that whole thing I was able to, you know, get. And all of those steps from there helped me, you know, get to where I am now, you know, because, you know, I'm 29 years old now. So I really started on my musical discipline when I was 8. So I'm like 20 years plus into doing music. Although I only been on the mic for 8, it's like all those other prior years, you know, really, really helped, you know, shaped where I am now, and it was really needed.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, for sure.
And you did mention you had some form of like, was it social anxiety you think in high school or just?
Yeah, kind of even before that. I mean, yeah, you could label it, you can call it, you know, whatever you want to call it, but I was just like I was just a shy kid, man. Like I was just quiet. I wasn't really.
Music help you become like,
yeah,
you know,
that's the way I was able to. That was more my, you know, preferred way of communication, like my preferred language, music, the universal language. That's where I was able to, you know, articulate my thoughts and really just like dial in on who I am, you know. But yeah, I ain't speak a lot. You know, I was one of them kids, you ain't even know I was there in class, you know what I'm saying? Until I stood up, you know, I was always tall. So I'm always the tallest one in my grade or tallest one in school. So like you would see me, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was real soft-spoken, quiet, stay out the way. Like I don't really want to draw too much extra attention to myself, like type shit. I was just trying to fall back, do my thing. Yeah, but music, especially once I started rapping, singing, that's when I was able to learn more how to be in social settings, articulate, build with people more comfortably, to the point where I don't even really got that shit no more. I'm saying I could pop out, tell anybody, be cool, and just be comfortable now, just because, like, you know, that's a sacrifice I had to make. That's just what's required for my field. It's like at the end of the day, I got to be able to articulate. I got to be able to move and be in the streets with the people. I got to be able to build, have great conversations, you know, open myself up to making those connections. You know, closing myself off to that is, you know, not in alignment with my vision. Right. So
I would love to hear more about the band. Like, how did that come about? Because were you 8 years old as well when you started this band? Like, how old were you?
Nah, that was probably like, with my guys, it probably started when I was like 13, 14.
Okay.
It's like, you know, adolescent, young
that's
teen.
Pretty uncommon, especially for our culture, you're saying.
Yeah, like, I was literally drumming in a rock band, like, as a young black kid in Philly, playing in bars and shit when I was, like, 16 years old.
Okay.
You know, like, so it was like, you know, me and my group of friends I grew up with, we was always different, like, but it sounds funny, like, the way I got introduced to, like, other types of music and just different things, like this video game Guitar Hero, like,
I played
it came out when we was kids or whatever, like, you had the fucking, like, little plastic guitar hitting the buttons. Like, when my man showed me that, I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. I'm like, I never really paid attention to rock music or alternative music or anything like that. That's like, but then when you in the game and you playing it, it immerses you in it. So then it's like, then I started kind of getting more of appreciation for that style of music, and we all did, you know what I'm saying? And then you go on, you start discovering bands, and you start, you know, finding your different musical tastes. And, you know, so we was like some little kind of alt kind of black kids, kind of, but also like on some cool shit at the same time. So, you know, we found music as like a place where we can come together and connect. I don't even know exactly what moment like sparked it, but I was drumming. my man was playing guitar. My other man was rapping. It was like a rap rock kind of fusion, like so. And then my other close friend, he was playing guitar a little bit, and we put him on the bass guitar because my pop played bass, and my pop was showing me some stuff about bass. So I was kind of like almost like the producer or conductor kind of the group. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, although I was in the background and the drummer, I was kind of helping like compose different parts and elements from each instrument, like, and kind of create the songs. And we even did some cover songs. Like we was doing like Red Hot Chili Peppers and Rage Against the Machine and shit like that. That's kind of like what we was inspired by. I even had a point of time, like I don't know, it might have been a couple years in my life, I wasn't even listening to rap at all. I was kind of like getting turned off by it at a point. And then, you know, to my heart is hip hop. I had to come back to it, you know. And but there was a point during that time I was like, some rocker shit. I'm listening to Metallica and Killswitch Engage and these metal bands and all type of shit, like, and that kind of just opened my mind up to different things, you know.
And I can see how Garage, what was it?
Guitar Hero.
Hero influenced you to create a band. Because I remember playing that game, and my favorite song was like Heartbreaker.
Yeah.
And it was so fun, but I never thought about starting a band. But I can see how that can create an idea.
Yeah.
You know, get you like, it's a whole different genre. Yeah. You know, and then you still feel the essence. You still feel the vibe, the beat,
right.
Because,
you know, prior to that, I mean, most of what I was listening to, I guess, was just hip hop on the radio. I mean, I was always into hip hop, like. You know, I remember having the CDs early on, even when I was young, even having the edited version of the CDs without the cussing, like the 50 Cent, the Massacre, the Game, the documentary. You know, like I even had a damn 3 6 Mafia CD when I was younger. So it's just kind of like, shit, whatever I can get my hands on. But just like all of that fusion of styles, and then being in the school band, also playing like concert music. And I was in the jazz band in school, so like playing jazz and like different things, like all of this different gumbo of genres and musical selections and stuff kind of just like, you know, got my brain going on like what's possible, and you know, just not being limited to what's being marketed to us, you know what I'm saying? Like so that was really cool, you know. But hip hop is my heart though, so that I always kind of, you know, that's like really what drives me, you know what I mean? But I'm grateful for all of those experiences, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And take me from, okay, you starting your own band to now you're producing music, right? Was that the next step?
Yeah.
Okay.
So with the band, you know, it comes the ups and downs within, like, especially as you get older, like it's like we got 4 or 5 grown men, you know, or young men trying to schedule our time together. We all got to practice individually, but also together. And you know, sometimes different things change in the chemistry. You know, certain people can be more locked in than others. It can be a lot of stuff going on. People can get jobs. People have, you know, girlfriends or wives now, where it's like, you know, things may not always be in super alignment to be together all the time. So what kind of happened as, you know, my friend of artists group expanded, it changed from just being a band to being a collective. So it was like, you know, me and my childhood guys, you know, with the band, but also a couple more rappers, a couple more producers, and just a couple more people. It was like probably 10 to 15 of us, you know, we was in the collective. And we was all individuals, but we came together, you know, and it was a time, you know, these niggas was at my crib every day, you know, in my mom's basement garage, you know, full of all of us. We just bouncing ideas, just figuring things out, just learning each other, working on different music. But producing for me became like the go-to thing, because I always didn't want to have to connect with other people or rely on other people to create something like a finished product. Like when you're in a band, it's like you can't create a finished product by yourself. You have to make phone calls. You have to set all these things up. If I'm a producer, all I gotta do is open my laptop and I can make as many things as I want unfiltered. I ain't gotta call nobody. I ain't gotta wait on nobody. Oh, you too busy? Link that. Say no more. I'm gonna go do it myself. You know what I'm saying? And also that trap music era, like when that shit first started popping off, like with Rick Ross, BMF, and like the Waka Flocka, all that shit, trap music era, I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. I'm like, yo, I gotta make these beats, like, you know. So the trap music era, that really, like, that's when I really started locking in on beats. I'm like, yo, this shit is so crazy. Like, hearing the way the sound evolved into like trap music, I was really, really super, super into that. Like, and I'm like, I really want to like be like Lex Luger and Metro Boomin, like those type of people. That's kind of, you know, what I was doing. You know, I was definitely like very, what's the word? Diverse in my sound. No, I wasn't just making trap beats, but that's kind of like what sparked me to like even sit down really more and lock in on, you know, developing this craft. You know, a friend of mine gave me FL Studio. It was called Fruity Loops at that time. You know, and once I locked in on that shit, I'm like, man, can't nobody tell me nothing no more. Cause like, I can sit down and make a beat in 30 minutes. I can take this whole day and make 15 beats, you know what I'm saying? And just sit back, enjoy them all. And that was my thing. Like, that was my original like solo music industry dream, was to be like a top producer. This before I picked up the mic or anything. So I'm looking like, I'm about to be like Metro. I'm about to be like, I'm about to be producing all the hits for everybody. That was my thing. And the talent and what I was producing, the product was at that level of like what the industry standard was. But, you know, I came to realize that this game ain't about talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably about 10% of what it take to get you somewhere. And when I was younger, I didn't have that understanding. I'm like, yo, why my shit not popping and I'm this hot? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. Like, then I learned about politics. I learned about networking. I learned about marketing. I learned about all these different things where, you know, at that time I still wasn't like the social guy yet. So it's just like, I wasn't popping out in no network mixers. I wasn't blowing up people emails. So I didn't really have a way to access the caliber of artists that I wanted to access. So I would produce, you know, for some local dope people in the city in Philly and in Jersey and like the people in my collective. I don't know if you're familiar with Armani White. He made like the Billie Eilish song, Glock Took Big T-shirt, Billie Eilish. That was like,
yeah. Okay, I'm familiar.
Yeah, that's like, he was like the leader of our collective. That's like my childhood friend. That's somebody I grew up with. We grew up on the same block. He was like the first person that I was like locked in kind of producing for, you know what I'm saying? Like under his wing type of shit. So that's where I got a lot of experience, like actually cultivating a sound for an artist, you know, like some of his early works I was producing. So I took that experience and I'm just like, you know, I found a few people to lock in with. Also, when I met my wife, when I met Lava, I was super excited to produce for her. And I locked in on her sound and I was having a fucking ball, you know, producing her albums, producing her songs. Had a beautiful time, but there just came a point where it was just like, I didn't want to feel trapped in the cycle of like having to chase artists around or just like being at their mercy. Because when you're a producer and you're trying to get placements and you're trying to get people on your beats, you know, you calling people, you emailing people, and you might send your hottest shit. And they might just not see it that day, or they might just, it might not connect with them at that time. And, you know, when you're young and naive and don't got a lot of experience in the game, you might take that shit personally. Like, it's like, damn, bro, like, why you ain't fucking with me? Like, I'm hot. Like, then it's like, nah, it's like, it ain't your time right now. You know what I mean? You got to keep working, keep building. And for me, that's kind of what inspired me to get behind the mic, because it's like, I could already do so much musically. I'm like, what's one more skill? You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew theory. I just had to discover my voice. So, you know, I went to the studio, I tried some things out, and I got that feeling again, you know, where it's like, that feeling I got when I first hopped on the snare drum and picked up the sticks. I'm like, this shit feel natural. I'm like, I feel like I've been doing this. Like, so that, you know, is what birthed kind of me taking the steps to growing to where I am. But it took me having to get kind of frustrated as a producer to become an artist.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like that right there is the recipe of life.
Yeah.
I call it like, okay, right now I'm really mastering pancakes, vegan and gluten-free pancakes. And I'm like, okay, I got almond flour, I got a little oat flour, I got some rice flour.
Yep.
And when you're making your own recipe, that means you got to measure out this ingredient. You got to keep trying until it becomes the perfect one. And then when you think you found the perfect one, it'd be like, wait, let me add a little bit more of this, and then now we found the perfect one.
Yep. So, yeah, my pancake game ain't strong. My shit ain't it. I don't even attempt to make pancakes no more. Them shits don't be fluffy, be flat. I'm like, man, this ain't it.
And that's literally, and I don't know, because I did read you're a Virgo, right? I'm a Virgo.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay. Like, when your birthday?
August 26th.
Oh, you August Virgo. Okay.
That's what's up. Yep. So
My
I
birthday
think, I
is
don't know if
September
that's
10th.
just a thing that we like to, like, we like processes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we like things to get better and easier. And I feel like that's, I mean, that, I don't know, I feel like that's my superpower almost, to look at something, to try it, and then to keep changing it and working on it.
The details.
You know what I'm
locking
saying?
in, tinkering.
Exactly, until it get better and better and then easier too, right?
Yep, yeah.
Because like you said, first you started the band, and the band, you got to depend on other people. And you're like, I don't really want to depend on other people. When I want to make something, I want to make something, right? Then you went into producing. And producing, you can do this on your own, but now you also realize you got to depend on finding the right artist to, you know, give your beats to. And
Exactly.
it required more than just you doing what you have to do for yourself to create really that masterpiece you was hoping for. And really you was looking for other people to create for you, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know, I call that the recipe of life.
Yeah, nah, facts.
You know? So then once you finish producing, you're like, okay, I'm tired of chasing after people and hoping that somebody will, you know, take this beat and it'll go big and I can get paid from it. That pushed you to doing what next?
Yeah, just getting behind that mic and spilling, you know, just like.
Getting on the mic yourself
And
becoming the voice.
Yeah, for sure. Became the voice, and that truly helped me find my voice in life, like even outside of the booth, you know. And my first experience actually booking studio time for myself and going to work on my own records. I went to like the most pristine studio in Philly. It's called Milk Boy. That's like where, you know, Lil Uzi and Jasmine Sullivan and, you know, Kanye and whoever done shit, all these plaques and stuff in there. I go there. I'm like, yeah, if I'm gonna do this shit, I'm gonna do it the right way. So I go, you know, I spend my money. I spend my little 90 or 95 an hour I was getting from my check. I was working at damn liquor store at the time, in the trenches in the hood in Chester, PA, which is like outside of Philly, but that shit is the trap. And I was working at this liquor store up there because like the liquor stores in Pennsylvania, they're like state run or state funded. They not like how it is down here where it's like everybody got them. So it was like a state job. So it was like a good job or whatever. Took my little money from my check, you know, hit the studio. And, you know, I enjoyed the experience of recording in there. But like when I left and got the records back, I'm like, these sound good, but I feel like for what I paid, like they could have sounded better. You know what I'm saying? And so after that first studio session, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna learn how to do this shit myself. So then a friend of mine, he gave me his mic and his like little setup. My friend Davion, he hooked me up. It was like, yeah, go ahead, do your thing, bro. And then I started locking in because when you have a home studio, that allows you to really hone in on your craft at a more rapid rate because you don't have to schedule time. Like again, you don't have to call nobody for nothing. Like I love being in that position. Like I get the shit done. Like I don't want to ask nobody for nothing. Let me just do the shit. I got an idea, hit record, go. So, you know, I went through my trial and error learning how to do that. You know, it's frustrating at a point, but, you know, had a breakthrough. And that's why I was able to kind of lock in and really hone in on my sound at that time. And it was really, really a beautiful thing. And I was generating, you know, like a decent amount of notoriety in my city, like in Philly and in like, you know, tri-state area, like Jersey, Delaware, like shit like that. People knew me there. That was because that was also the SoundCloud era. So that was like, it was hella easy to get streams. Like, you could just post your music on SoundCloud, no promotion or nothing, and you would check one day and it's 100,000 streams on that shit. Like, you know, we wasn't getting paid a penny for it. You know what I'm saying? But that was like a different day and like that. When that era SoundCloud was popping, I was like in that era, just like, you know, putting out my music, getting my experience, and doing a couple shows in here, and that was like. You know, my shows didn't look different now. Like I said, that was the era I had the Chief Keef locks and I was mosh pitting and swinging my dreads and acting a fool, like doing crazy shit. But it was also like, it was very fun and that helped me cultivate, you know, like my stage presence and just like, you know, getting used to being in front of people, performing with my voice. You know, I had been performing for people, but I was always in the back, like on a drum set or, you know, playing a certain drum. But I've been performing since a child, you know, because them school concerts, you know, like the fall, winter concerts and shit you used to do at school. Like I forgot what they call them, but you know, I was playing in those and shit. So I was used to kind of being in front of people, but not like where I'm the only thing on the stage. So that was cool, you know, getting my reps up, getting that experience. It was a good time.
And I think That's really good. And I feel like people resonate with your music because of, I don't know, the story you're able to tell, the motivation you're able to give people. And I think one of the important things that we need to know is, how did you come up with this name, Fr33sol?
Yeah, it's interesting. Cause that name came to me. I didn't go looking for that shit. It was just one of them. That's a download. That was like a real divine message. It just came to me. So I guess, before we get to that, I gotta, go into my prior name, the name I had before. So,
Okay.
My birth name is Wakil. And being where I'm from, everybody shorten your name, everybody give you a nickname. So growing up, Kill, that's my name. People just call me Kill. Anybody that know me, if you know me from before I was popping and all that shit, still this day you gonna call me Kill. That's, what my name was growing up. So my rap name and my producer name at that time, back when I was in Philly, was Kill Confirmed. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, it was kind of a play on like, the Call of Duty shit was popping, like the military shit, but also like, whenever you see him, like he killing shit. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like that was kind of like the rep I had. So like that was my name at the time, and that's how I was rocking. Because that was also like true to my childhood name. You know what I'm saying? But there came a time where it was like, I think end of 2018, where I was, I'll be out, I'll be doing my shit, I'll be meeting people, and when I would introduce myself, I didn't resonate like with my introduction no more. Like I would say it, and I'd be like, I don't even feel like me. Like for some reason, you know what I'm saying? It's just that name didn't really feel like it represented where I was going at that point, because my music had started to evolve even more. And I will say, like, my music in a way has been conscious, like almost from the beginning, like pretty much from the jump. But it's like, it was a different realm of it. It was definitely much, much, much darker.
Yeah, I
sonically.
actually can say, doing my research, I listened to your first freestyles. I think Humble.
Yeah,
Humble
yeah.
was one. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, I hear the sparks of that, conscious, you still had that energy, but then you still had like that Chief Keef. Like,
yeah, it was wild. It's definitely more of a, more of like, a certain, but that's just where I was from, Philly, like being in that energy is just like, you just gonna be a certain way type shit, you know what I mean? So it was cool, and I found a balance there, and even that's still in me, you know what I'm saying, in certain points, and it manifests itself and it comes out when I need to bring it out.
Exactly.
But it's just more controlled now. Like there was times before where like my performances, like I almost damn near had to fight a DJ one time because I was going too crazy on my set. I was too excited. We was going too crazy. Me and my guys, we going crazy in this shit in this low ass, art gallery or whatever. And I think I like threw the mic or dropped the mic or some shit, and that was his equipment. And that nigga was ready to fight me over that shit. And I was just like, yeah, y'all niggas, y'all gotta cool off a little bit. Like y'all doing a little too much. But that was one of them things I learned. I'm like, yeah, it gotta be like a controlled passion and control, like turn it up. You know what I'm saying? Because, I got this inner fire, and that's where that shit will really just burn and erupt and go crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now like that fire is like, it's more controlled. I'm harnessing it now as opposed to just, running rampant. But yeah, what was the question again?
How did you come up with the name Fr33sol?
Oh yeah, Fr33sol. Yeah, I ran off. But so when that name came, right, it's funny because I was messing around with photography at the time, and I was trying to make like a side page for my photography. I'm like, what's gonna be my photography name? I got to do some different shit. And the name I came up with, it was Fr33sol Visions. And I mean, that page is still up. It probably ain't shit on there. It's probably about 1 or 2 pictures on there and like 2 followers. But like that was the first time I seen that. It was Fr33sol Visions with the 33s in there and all that. That's just what came to me. And then, a couple days or a couple weeks go by, and I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling that shit. I'm feeling Fr33sol. Like that shit is dope. And, the more that name resonated with me, the more that shit marinated. It was like, yeah, this is the future. Like, this is where it's going. This is what the evolution of me looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I had to really think about it. Like, I'm doing this for longevity. So it's like, I need a name that can still go with me when I'm 40, 50, like, and it still makes sense with my brand. Like, you know what I'm saying? My other shit is like, it don't make sense when I'm 40 or when I'm 50 or like when I grow up and when I become, a husband and a father and all that shit. Like, Fr33sol matched more, and it gave me more headway for my evolution without feeling like, because your name can have like it can be limiting in certain spaces. It can be limiting in certain business opportunities. It can be limiting in a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you a drill rapper with a crazy drill rap name, a lot of times, even if a label looking at you, they like, man, we probably got 3 to 5 years for this nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't know if he even still will be alive. We don't even know if he's going to be locked up. So, it's like certain things with your name, like that shit really does a lot, and it can help even shape your path. You know what I'm saying? What you are calling yourself, what you're standing for. You know what I'm saying? So once I found that, I felt a lot more like yeah, this is it. I can do this until I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like Fr33sol, I'm like, yeah, that's a vibe. And the 33s, when I put that in there, I wasn't even hip to numerology. I wasn't hip to none of that shit yet. You know what I'm saying? I figured that out later. But that's how synchronicities work. That's how divine alignment worked. Because I later found out that my life path number is 33. So it fit right in there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that when I put that. I found that out afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, once I found that out, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely it. This is it. Like, this is it until I die. Like,
that's like confirmation.
Yeah, that was the last stamp. But also when I changed my name, I started becoming more, known outside of my city. Like a little bit more Cali, a little bit more Atlanta. People nationwide are starting to figure out who I am in a way, and it was like each year it was like another step, another step, another step, another step. This year was like a few steps, you know what I'm saying? Like a whole nother staircase. But, I feel good growing and evolving with that name. Yeah.
And tell me about some of the challenges you have faced throughout this journey with like since that 2019 time until right now. Like, what were some of your challenges you faced and how did you get through them? Because I understand that, I call it basically you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Just in the music industry. And we all go through different things that we didn't even know that we had to go through. So what were some of those things that you had to face?
Yeah, a lot of challenges, just like finding my market, finding my tribe, people who I'm a service. Like finding exactly that clear direction. Like it was a bit of a challenge. I'd say it did get easier, after like, maybe the first year or so, but that was a challenge. Also just like, I was an audio engineer kind of as like my job or whatever, to make my money, still doing music. But with that, I was running house studios, either out when I still lived with my mom, I was running a studio out the garage. And when I moved out, running the studio basically out of my dining room, took the tables and chairs out and I fuck all that and made a studio out of it. But, one of the challenges was just like, balancing that, me doing the work I was doing for other people and then also, the work that I had to do for myself ultimately to really get the long term where I'm really truly heading, not just, making enough just to, get through the next day, But yeah, obviously money gonna be one of them things because when you first start, you ain't making shit. You know what I'm saying? Off of streams, off of shows, you ain't making a damn dime when you first start.
As an artist, what's some advice you can give to up and coming artists is to say, okay, how can I monetize off of my music and how can I reach more people? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, so one of those things is like, for me, like I said, the audio engineering was kind of how I was able to keep some money on the table while I was getting that together. Have skills outside of just rapping or singing. If like that's all you can do in 2023, like you got a hard road ahead of you, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to be able to wear multiple hats. You have to be able to wear a myriad of hats, a plethora of, like you have to really go crazy in a way where you got to have different skills that can surround your music. And then even through some of those skills, you can do service-based work for other people. That's one way you can do it. Like if you're an artist, but you also a photographer, you know what I'm saying? Get you some shoots. You're an artist, but you learn how to do some video, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, monetize, man, I'll shoot you some content for $100 type shit. You know what I'm saying? Get your hustle on like that. Have some merchandise, even though to make merchandise, you got to have money to start that. And I'm gonna be honest, like, don't quit your day job or whatever too soon, bro. Like, being in your head like, oh no, I'm gonna quit this shit, put it on the music. No, you actually need to find a way to get some bread, because you will realize you're gonna need some money for this shit. You wanna look fly, you're gonna need some money. You want a flight to go to LA and go make some moves, you're gonna need some money. You want studio time in a nice studio, you're gonna need some money. You want a good mixing engineer to mix your music, you're gonna need some bread. Like, so you gotta get it how you gotta get it. And a lot of times that shit is not gonna come from streams or sales on your music in the beginning. So it's just like, forget about that. Stay consistent, do the work, and do whatever it is you got to do to get some money, whether you working from home. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to make sacrifices. If you get off at 5 and, you normally Netflix at 6, shower at 9, sleep at 10, you got to switch that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Because, you might have to be up till 3 a.m. every day. If you hungry for this shit, you need to cut back on that sleep and, sub that in with locking in on your grind. But then also, social media is a great way where it's like you can create different opportunities for yourself, but you got to put in the work for free on social media for a while before you're able to build any leverage with that. Because if you only got 4,000 followers, ain't nobody giving you no money for nothing on social media. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you could build it up, it's like, hey, send me your hat. I'll make a reel in your hat. You send me X amount of dollars. Send me your t-shirt. I post that joint, for X amount per post. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, if you on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or something where like the videos actually monetize, it's not much, but it's something. And there's, there's different things. There's even things like soundbetter.com, which is like almost like a Fiverr for musicians, where like, people that's writers, people that's guitar players, instrumentalists, like they advertise their services on there to help people. Like, hey, you need a top line. Hey, you need a hook, you need a verse, you need a sax riff, something like that's a place where you can potentially get clients if you have those other skills. If all you know how to do is rap, then you might not have no success on there. But, learn how to do different things. Like if you rap, learn about music production. Learn at least the building blocks of what making a beat looks like. You don't got to become Timbaland, but you at least got to, know the basics, have a basic understanding so that, matter of fact, here's another thing. As far as when you're an artist, making money is one thing, but also cutting back on expenses, because it's two different roads you can go down. If you go down the DIY route, you're going to pay more with your time and your energy. It's going to take a lot more sacrifice with your time and energy. Or you pay with the outsourcing everything route, you got to have some money. You either better, I don't know what you have, you know what I'm saying? You making platters, you cooking, you got herbal products, you trapping, whatever you're going to do, you got to have some money, because a good music video going to be 2 racks and up. You know what I'm saying? A good studio session going to be, $500 to $1,000 for the night, another $300 to mix the song. That's just one song. And that you spend $1,000 to make. And for you to make $1,000 off of streaming, my boy, you're going to need a lot of streams. You're going to need a lot of fucking streams. Like per million streams, you're getting paid somewhere from like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. So, just put that in perspective.
Right.
You can spend $4,000 on one music video. No problem. You know what I'm saying? If it's like an established director, and you would need 1 million streams on that song just to even recoup that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you ain't popping yet, you'd be lucky to get 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So you just will be dumping money into something where it's like, nah, bro. Instead of spending $4,000 on one video, you could spend $1,500 on a camera and a lens, bro. And you can pay with your time and energy learning a skill. And then you can make unlimited videos. Right. You know what I'm saying? Vertical. You know what I'm saying? You can make one video a day. My boy, you have 365 vertical pieces of content by the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? You would have spent a third of what you would have spent on one 3-minute music video. All you had to do is learn how to do the work, learn how to use Premiere Pro, learn how to use CapCut, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you're going to use, like, make a sacrifice. Don't make excuses for yourself. Even without a camera, we all got these. Like, this is a camera. You don't even need no damn camera. Sure. Like, you don't need that, bro. You don't even need to learn how to put nothing in focus. You don't need to learn how to set nothing up. This do it for you already. Like, we got these phones, bro. Like, man, this is all you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you need is a $100 mic, a laptop, and a damn phone, and a will. And the energy, like, yo, I'm going to do this. I don't care what I got. I'm not going to make excuses like, oh, I need the hottest shit. Yeah. A lot of people, they keep putting it on the back burner. I ain't got this. I ain't got that. Bro, it's kids downloading the app on BandLab and they recording songs right off of their Apple earphones. They ain't even got mics. And they posting them and they making content for them and them shit's going up. So it's like, you got to get your hands dirty. If you're an artist now, like, you can't be too cute to learn how to engineer, learn how to, set up a camera, learn how to edit, learn how to subtitle your videos, get your aesthetic right, learn how to brand and market yourself. You got to wear all them hats. You got to learn about marketing. You got to learn about social media algorithms. You can't be too cool, to sit down and do some research on why you need to be, getting your content right. You know what I'm saying? Because without that, you ain't got them other skills. You ain't gonna make it out here unless you rich, unless you got $100,000 a month to just pay everybody to do everything. Even that, it's not buying your way on is not even a guarantee. You know what I'm saying? Because if you corny, even buying your way on might not even work. You know what I'm saying? Like you could pay, I'm on Say Cheese, I'm on The Source. Like niggas ain't really rocking with you like that though. It's just like on the surface, it'll look like, you got a blue check and you got 100,000 bought followers, but people ain't really gonna resonate. You know what I'm saying? You still can't sell out a tour date. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's my number one advice for artists. Learn how to do everything. Like, so you ain't got to depend on nobody for nothing, especially with your music. Like, even if you got people that you trust, you got an engineer that you trust, that's your friend you grew up with, y'all might have a falling out one day. And that nigga won't go one day and you know what? I suddenly lost all of this music that he recorded. Shit like that happens to people all the time, all the time. And then they be like, I stopped making music for 5 years because this person deleted my music. So what? Go make another catalog, bro. Like, if you like that, then it don't matter.
Like, no excuse.
If I lost all my songs today, I'm building a new catalog next month. Like, I'm not, excuses really got to go out the window. Like, we get real comfortable with, oh, I can't do this because that, bro. You going to find a way, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like with your kids, you going to find a way to feed your kids. You know what I'm saying? You broke, you going to do something. You going to get on EBT. You going to go, buy a case of waters from Costco and go out and sell them, you know what I'm saying, at a sports event. You going to get that shit, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with this. You got to be willing to like, yo, I'm going to scrap, I'm going to fight, I'm going to grind. It's going to get ugly and I'm going to get it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. I agree. And, well, we might as well, hype you up a little bit. We might as well, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you are a prime example of artists can make it if you are self-sufficient, if you don't have any excuses, and if you just have a drive to win, and if you believe in yourself. You believe in yourself, right?
Of course.
For sure.
Of course. It's a knowing. And on that, actually, I got a real good piece of advice from like my principal of the school when I was in 12th grade. So just a little bit of quick background on that. Remember I mentioned earlier that I started failing once I got to high school because I was just like, man, like I kind of know what I'm going to do already, and I don't really see how this is serving me. Obviously, there's other different skills that you can develop in school, but that's just me being young and arrogant at the time. So my mom had sent me to like an alternative type of school, and the way this one was set up was like, instead of one grade taking a year, one grade took a semester. So it was like you do 2 grades in 1 year. So that's how I was able to get caught up and not like, graduate late. That's when I was able to graduate kind of the year I was supposed to, because I had got left back, you know what I'm saying? Like just on some me being too smart for this shit or whatever, like, so there, my principal gave me a good piece of advice. She had something that was called like success class. She would just either bring somebody in that's successful or just have like some sort of encouragement for us to like follow our dreams and shit. So, I was producing at the time and I was like bringing my beats to school and playing my beats for little rappers in there. I was like remaking a lot of the beats that was popular. I remember like when Niggas in Paris came out, the Kanye and Jay-Z joint, I had like went home and remade the beat and then I brought it to school and I was playing with people. I'm like, yo, I remade this shit. Like, listen to it. It was like, yo, this shit crazy. It sounds just like it. And I showed my principal and shit. She's like, yeah, like you can do this. And I think I said, well, if I make it or if da-da-da, she cut me off. It's like, yo, if you gonna do this shit, like it can't be like a if. It's like you have a mentality of like a win. It's like, I'm doing this. She basically said, don't have a plan B. She said, yo, it's plan A or nothing, because you're going to set yourself up for failure. You know what I'm saying? If you got all this, if you iffy about it, and that's something that I always kept in the back of my mind. I was already, confident in my music before that, but that's like what sealed the deal. I'm like, nah, it ain't no going back. Like I'm all in on this shit. It's this or nothing. Like, so yeah. Okay.
And tell us, how many streams do you get? Like, how many people playing your music every year? Because I last time I did my research, it was about 5 million. So
yeah, Spotify, You know, this year we did about 4.5 million.
Okay.
Apple Music was probably about 3-4 million. YouTube was probably like 6-7 million.
Okay.
So altogether, probably anywhere 13-15 million, something like that, somewhere in that realm. I can't all the way calculate it, but we'll say around 15 million roughly. And I mean, like, I feel like we can kind of get numb to numbers sometimes just because everything is so statistic based. Everything is numbers, this amount of likes, this amount of followers. But when you really think about that, like my song was streamed 15 million times this year.
Yes.
You know, like my catalog, that shit is really, it's insane.
Cheers.
It's crazy.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, congratulations.
Give thanks.
For sure.
And yeah, you know, every year it's just a constant, you know, just build because, you know, I made that my mission. I'm just like, I gotta make some improvement every year. I gotta improve, you know, in my marketing. I gotta improve in my branding. My music been so fire that like, improving in music, I feel like I'm in a good place with music. You know, obviously I'm getting better. My singing's getting better. My harmonies and stacks and all that shit is getting better. But just like improving in the marketing and the branding and the dialing in on like who I am and how am I presenting that? Yeah. Because that's what translates to your music being streamed. And I mean, you know, as much as, you know, artists and we all like to cry about how little, you know, each stream get paid out, at the end of the day, that's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make for a time because I want to be able to, you know, make it accessible for my people, bro. I just want it to be accessible for now. Like, I'm going to do some exclusives. I'm going to do exclusive albums where it's only on my site or only on Even. That's like a new platform where people buying music directly from the artists. Like, I'm going to do those too. But right now, I really just want to make my music as accessible as possible and like to really get as many people as possible, to service as many people as possible with each single release. And to do that, I mean, everybody's on Spotify, everybody's on Apple Music, everybody's on YouTube. So it's like, these are the platforms that are set up for music right now. I could bitch and complain about it, whatever, but I could just build it. And I mean, honestly, the streaming checks, they add up. Like, you know what I'm saying? They get to a point where them shit start hitting, you know, like I got some real good monthly checks off of just, you know, streaming. It adds up after a while. But it just takes time. In the beginning, it can be discouraging. Yeah. You could be like, damn, I only got $8 this month off of my music. Like, damn. You know, and that's what people be crying about, you know. Damn, they only paying this, they only paying that. I'm like, my answer to that is, bro, go get more. Exactly. It's the same, like, it's the same thing with like, you know, if you living in LA or whatever, you crying about how expensive everything is, bro, go get some more money. That's just like, at the end of the day, that's just what people was doing. Like, at the end of the day, you already here, bro. So it's like, yeah, it's expensive. It's high, bro. Gas is $5 or more a gallon. That's what it is. Yeah. So we either cry about it or find a way to go get some more bread. Like, so that's where I'm at with it. I'm not about to cry about Spotify, bro. Like, I'm going to go find a way to get some more streams on Spotify so to get some more money. Like, it's simple. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where the people is at. You know, I don't want to feel like I got to go all the way off route for the people. And then, you know, it's like, you know, I know once it get to a certain point, it's like, I know I can get 10,000 people to buy a CD the first day or something once they get to a certain point. But right now, I just want to get to as many people as possible. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm grateful for the streams. I'm super grateful that, you know, people listen to this music daily. Like, this is people's ritual. This is people almost like religion, like my music. So,
and I can attest to that. Yeah. I'm a big advocate on how music affects us. And I feel like I listen to the same songs about 10 times a day, and you are definitely in the loop for sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. You know, why not listen to music that make you feel good, that has words that are encouraging, that motivate you, that allow you to even imagine and really to feel. Because when I listen to your music, crystal clear course vision, manifesting my wishes. I mean, I can see me manifesting my wishes. You know that's what I'm saying? So it's creating a feeling and that's one of the keys to, like, you, I don't know, I'm sure you like spiritual, but like that's one of the keys to manifesting is to feel yourself in that dream.
You there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you're there. So I feel
what it smell like, what it feel like, what am I wearing, who's around, just the details. Yeah.
Yes. So and with that being said, I feel like hip hop could be taking a shift. We have more artists speaking out about, hip hop and the influence that it has on the culture and the people. And I feel like your music is literally right on time. It's something that's needed. And I seen your Instagram and I was like, I think you were rapping to a little boy.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, because I feel like the children nowadays need something like that, and I feel like they want it. And no matter how much an adult might try to say, well, I'm going to turn it off when they come on the radio, this hip hop music or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's going to seep in somewhere, somehow. Because
right, yeah.
It's
especially
played.
with the internet, with these, with tablets, was like, you could do your best, but they're going to find stuff like, what I'm saying? It's, but yeah, that moment actually, that was at the first show for the Road Less Travel tour, my independent tour that I'm currently on. That was the very first show. It was on 11/11 on a portal day. Okay. In Los Angeles, in Venice, at this beautiful, mystical, spiritual mansion type of situation, because like all the venues and places that I'm using for this tour is very intimate. It's like, it's not even stages. It's not big things. It's like, it's like 100 people there. It's like, it's a vibe where every single person that comes is very, very dedicated to the mission and dedicated to like openly receiving this and participating and being full of love. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a quality over quantity type of event. So the story with those children, they came all the way down to LA from Sacramento. For anybody that's familiar with Cali, that's a hike. That's way up north, near Oakland and all of that. And that's a hike. They came down for the show. Their mom, their grandma bought them. It was 3 children, different age ranges. But before I went on, they came up to me. We chopped it up. The little boy actually that I was singing to in the video, before the performance, he gave me a gift. He had like redrew the Road Less Travel cover art on like a canvas. Like he redrew it and gave it to me as a gift. Yeah. That shit was really dope. They gave me some gifts. I took pictures with them. We did the autographs and all that. Like, it was really cool. It was a great moment for them because, for them, it's like, yeah, we get to meet our favorite artist. Like, he's right here in real life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool to be able to get that pure energy and love and share that moment with them before the show started. So, once I ended my set, once I got to Be Yourself King, I had kind of been interacting with the crowd throughout. I might, walk out, I might shake some of my hand, I might blah, blah. So I had already been doing that. But once it came time to do that, I saw him, he was right there. And I'm just like, yeah, let me see what's up with the young king. Cause he showed me hella love. So I'm just like, let me show some love back. You know what I'm saying? Let me, give him a moment. It was one of them on the fly things. Obviously it wasn't planned, but I'm super grateful that it was documented. I'm so grateful that I had a videographer there to get that moment. And once I was going through the footage and I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's pretty dope. Let me post this. But also I wasn't in the mindset of like, this shit about to blow up. I had no idea. To me, I'm just like, oh, this is about to be another video I post to like 30, 40,000 views, whatever. I didn't really think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to document that I was on tour. So I posted that shit and then the shit blew up like within that week. Had millions of plays all over Facebook, Instagram, everybody from, 19 Keys, The Source Magazine, even Snoop Dogg and commented on it, say, oh, I like this. What's this song? Just a whole bunch of big people and celebrities and stuff. And I guess that was kind of like a moment where, what I was doing had crossed over into like a whole nother realm outside of, the people I'm normally used to servicing. Yeah. And I definitely wasn't prepared for it at all because I was just doing my due diligence. For me, I'm like, it was just another piece of content. Like, I wasn't really thinking twice. But
and it's typically the one you least expect.
Yeah, that's what happened with this song, bro. That's literally what happened with Be Yourself King. That's exactly what happened. Like, when I made it, so when I made the song originally, just touch on how I started this year, 2023. I started this year with Fr33sol Fridays. That's something that I was doing. So for the first 13 weeks of this year, I was dropping a new song to all DSPs on every single Friday, with comment. I mean, with some content. So I did 13 weeks of that. Then I dropped the EP with Spiritual Tony. Then I dropped my album, But after that, I was like, shit, I'm about to keep dropping music. I'm about to do 6 more weeks of Fr33sol Friday. So that was my original plan. Yeah. And Be Yourself King just happened to be the first song that I was going to do. It was just going to be another 6 Fridays back to back where I'm just dropping. So I wasn't really thinking that much about each song individually. I was just thinking about, let me just make songs, keep dropping, keep making videos. And that song came out, and it was weird because I also got like really sick around the time. Like, I had ate some sort of combination of food that tore my ass up. Like, and I was so messed up for like a good week, 2 weeks, and I was kind of out of commission while the video of Be Yourself King was blowing up. Not the one with the kid, but a video from me just like in my garage with the mic hanging. I just performed it rapping. That was the first one for that song that kind of blew up. And that was my first video to hit a million views on social media.
Okay.
Was that, and it was basic video. It was just me, mic hanging, like simple. But the lyrics captivated people, you know. And for me, like, some of my songs, I have a lot more complex songs and a lot more shit where I'm showing off more of my bars and more of my vocal range than that. That song is like my most simplest song because the message is so straightforward. I probably made the shit in 20 minutes. Like, it's something where it wasn't a thought out concept, like, I'm gonna do this for the kids. It wasn't none of that. I just turned the mic on and just made a song. I'm like, it's just another song. Like, I didn't really think much of it. Then I'm like, oh shit. Like, when this shit started popping off, you know, that video was blowing up and these actors and these NFL players were sharing it. And I'm like, oh shit, like all these big people follow me. And then Kyrie Irving posted me on the story. I'm like, oh, this shit going crazy. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. But during that moment, I was like sick at the same time. So I couldn't like keep continuing. I couldn't like go crazy. You know, if I was healthy, I would have made a video the next day. I'd have kept it going. So I'm like, all right, cool. There's something there. And then when I reposted that video with the kid, you know what I'm saying, going up, that shit went insane. Yeah. And I'm just like, nah, this is it. I gotta capitalize on this moment. So I'm like, after that went, I'm like, nah, I'm locking in on this song. I'm about to push this shit until it's a hit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was such a moment. I'm really grateful that that family was there and that I was able to experience that moment because that opened up a lot of doors, you know, since then. Yeah. And it's only been maybe a month since that happened. But like before I dropped Be Yourself King, the actual song, Instagram, I had like 40K followers. Now it's at like 115,000, you know what I'm saying? Like just within the time that I dropped that song, it's like I got almost 100,000 new followers. So the shit is going crazy. Like it's really, because I mean, for what the song is talking about, it's just right now people are feeling that. So it's just like, it's like reporting the times. A lot of the average person is they just starting to get tired of, you know, what could be looked at as toxic hip hop, you know, just because like the thing with hip hop is like, so sometimes people think that like, you know, I'm trying to like, you know, come at that shit sideways a certain way. I just want people to be real and people to be authentic. Like the concept with that song, it wasn't like I was talking to a child, or even though, you know, a lot of times now it could be looked at like that. I was talking more to like grown ass men that rap, right? That had no street background, no street history. You know what I'm saying? You're not like that. You don't shoot people, you don't sell drugs, you never did those things. But then as soon as you start rapping, you feel like that's what you got to rap about just because that's the status quo. That's just the program that's in your mind of what rap sound like. Even if you like a random person on the street start freestyling, like a person that don't rap, they'll find a way to kind of say some violent shit or find a way to try to flex or trying to, it's like, bro, that ain't really what rapping is about. Like, it's about the skill. Like you can rap about that light or, you know, drinking champagne or having an egg sandwich in the morning or whatever, like whatever it is, it's about like having dope bars and melodies and shit like that and telling stories. It ain't got to be attached to just this one, you know, idea of it. Like, and it's like, I feel like leave the street rap for the niggas that really was in the streets because that's real to them. That's what they know. That's what their life was built on. That's real to them. And that, I got respect, you know, for the real soldiers that find a way to tell their story and get out the streets using music. And my message to that song was not towards them. It's for the niggas that's somewhere in between. Like, bro, why are you talking about Glocks? You never held one. You never shot one, bro. Like, that shit is whack. That shit is corny, bro. Like, talk about the shit you actually own, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because if you find a way to do it dope, people gonna rock with you. You know what I'm saying? It's just your authenticity. That's what it's about, bro. Like, you ain't gotta talk about no street shit you ain't really did, bro. Because let alone, God forbid you pop off that shit, then them niggas gonna hold you accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit you said you was on, you pull up on a tour date, somebody gonna be trying to snatch your chain. Somebody gonna be trying to snatch you out of will. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why bring that to yourself, bro, when you wasn't on that? You know what I'm saying? If that's all you was on when you grew up, then obviously that's what your music is gonna be. That's what it's gonna reflect because that's authentic to your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So like, Be Yourself King is, you know, doing what's authentic to your lifestyle, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, you know, I said what I said in that song, you know what I'm saying? So, but people resonated with it. You know, a lot of people was just they tired. They don't always want to hear about shooting. They don't always want to hear about slapping somebody. They don't want to hear, women being called bitches all the time. I mean, it's like, a lot of times to listen to our hip hop, we love hip hop. We love that shit so much. That's the only reason why we can critique it and criticize it, because we love it. Like, we love it with all our hearts. We want to see it in a place where it's thriving, because even just in like the realm of industry numbers and what it looks like, hip hop is on the decline as far as like people's tour sales, people's album sales, people that was the stars and you see their first week album sales. Like, nigga, you did what? Like, that's it? It's because like, it's not as respected as an art form. It's not as respected as a craft, because here's one thing that's weird about hip hop, right? This is one of the only professions in the world where you don't need a prerequisite of some sort of mastery to get to the highest level. It's basically like, I can go to the NBA tomorrow and I don't know shit about hooping. Like, you could be a rap star tomorrow and not know shit about rapping. You don't know. You can't even count bars, but because you had some money, you know what I'm saying, or you had some shit going on, or you kind of stumbled into a TikTok moment, you could be a rap star with no prerequisite. You ain't do your due diligence, bro. You ain't locking on your craft. You ain't do your 10,000 hours. You ain't do that work. Nowhere else you could do that.
Right.
You can't do that as an actor. You can't do that as a dentist. You can't do that as a doctor. As a doctor, you got to go to school for 8 years. You can't just open a doctor's office and start servicing people. With rap, you don't need no prerequisite. All you need is a phone and a mic. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of a weird situation where it's like, then those people get idolized, the people that ain't got no respect for the culture. They're just seen it as a lick. They're just seen it as something like to do, or just something to do, you know what I'm saying, to get some girls and do some little weird shit like that. Yeah. That shit could pop. And then it's like, damn, the people that really put their blood, sweat, and tears into the authenticity in the craft, they be feeling like they not being rewarded. And then they get discouraged and then they stop. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we just need more of a balance. And me, I'm be honest, bro, like, I'm kind of in a place where, some people even look at me as like a hypocrite or something. Like, a lot of the music I listen to as far as hip hop music ain't even conscious music. Like, that's what I make. But like, outside of myself, I love hip hop so much that it's like, there's not a ton of conscious artists or like artists that I feel like got that balance, like how I got that I could truly listen to and really enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a handful, but like Drake drop, I'm still like, I'm out to bump this Drake. Doug drop, I'm like, we're gonna listen to Jeffrey today. Like, you know what I'm saying? And when I made my first album as Fr33sol, that's like a lot of the music that inspired how I got to my sound, how I was able to balance, like, still sonically having the textures and having like the beats and the production of things that captivate you right now and what I want to hear, but it's just not a destructive message, because I'm not living a destructive lifestyle and I'm not lying about it in my raps. Right. Like, but one of my biggest influences for my first album in 2019 as Fr33sol, my album Transmute, was Travis Scott, bro. Like, I was listening to Travis Scott, Migos, Thug, Gunna, Lil Baby. That's like all of what I was listening to when I was making that album. But I just took it, put that shit in the pot, mixed it up, and put my element into it and made it mine, made it like what's authentic to, a young spiritual guy, king from Philly, you know what I'm saying? That's like making the way for people and standing on something different. But the essence in that sound was still very much like hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get away from the sound of hip hop, and I'm not bashing that sound. I love that sound. That's why I still keep my ears to the streets. What I'm listening to is still like, what can be considered, like low vibrational hip hop or whatever, but I'm listening to it with a sense of awareness, where I'm like not letting that shit always seep into my subconscious and influence my decisions daily. And you have to have a certain level of like spiritual fortitude in you to be in those darker realms and those lower realms, because a lot of the music, it is very dark. It takes you to a dark place and a lower vibration and a lower realm. But a real alchemist, a wizard, a magician, we go there. Yeah. And then we can fucking make some light out of that shit. We make some magic out of it. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So.
Okay. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. I think that's important. And I think maybe we need a vetting process.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's tricky, you know.
Yeah, to the artists that we listen to, and I think we should have more say so.
Yeah.
As a people.
The balance. That's just the key. Because when you go on Rap Caviar, or you put on whatever the hip hop radio station is, or you go on Apple Music, the biggest rap, joints, is just so ruled by who had the most money to pay for the slot.
Exactly. It's really about money.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I can listen to music. If I listen to, like, let's say Drake, the first time I listened to him, I'm like, oh, that wasn't that good. But when they just program you and play it back
going
to
into
back
you,
to
then you
back to
like,
back, you think,
yeah,
that's actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yep.
So I feel like we need to, and it might not really sound good. We just get familiar with it.
Yeah.
And then we like the beat.
Yeah.
And then we just go along with it. You know what I'm saying? But I think we do need a vetting process with the artists.
The balance is just key. That's all. That's really what we need. It's like, but the only reason the balance can kind of look like getting away from that, or some people could look at as bashing that, because the pendulum has been so unbalanced for so long that it kind of got to swing on a drastic level to then swing back to the balance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like people like D1, like he on this whole campaign right now where he like, hold
the
up.
line is being drawn.
You like, hold up.
For sure.
Let's take a little bit more responsibility of what we saying, because like, my boy, you was trapping 25 years ago. You still talking like that shit was yesterday. It's like, get them up to speed on where you at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't what it look like right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, we talking about major labels, these are people that are invested into private prisons. So it's like, their whole motto is like, bro, we got to get niggas in jail, because this is where a lot of our stock is going to get made. Like, if you take the morality and like the wickedness or evenness out of it, if you take all that out of it, it's business. They doing business. They're like, man, we give him $1 million and he's going to, stimulate a message and get a message across to continue the cycle of things that put people into the jails, where we got the real money at. You know what I'm saying? Like, we going to make $1 billion off of the jails. Give him his little 1.5 million. That ain't shit. Little $2 million, 1.5 for major label deal. That's chump change to a label, bro. For the people that really own the media companies, they don't care about that million. They could lose that shit in the cab, be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like $1 million. Oh,
yeah.
Pull another one. You know what I'm saying? Because like, especially they dealing with the credit. When you dealing with the credit system, it's unlimited money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no money. Money ain't even real. They just pulling numbers out of their ass. Like, oh yeah, I'm in debt $2 million, and then I finesse my way out of the debt, and now I'm in debt another $10 million. But I was really just flipping the debt. It's like, so they just looking at that shit. It's business. You know what I'm saying? For them, they're like, not only is it business music wise, it's business wise with filling up the prisons. So it's like they getting the money from different ways. So they're like, of course we're gonna keep this shit going, because we invested in these prisons. We have to use this to fuel our other investments. It's basic business practice for them. Like, so that's why they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, that's easy money. So if you don't got your morality and all that attached to how you get money, there's a lot of ways to go get some money if you don't give a fuck how to make it. You know what I'm saying? You can go out on the street and do whatever, you know what I'm saying, and get a bag. But when you got a certain level of integrity or standards or morals and shit you stand on to get a bag, it might be a little harder for you to get one. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And that's really the beautiful thing about social media.
Yeah.
Because you get to create your audience.
Exactly.
And you get to align with people that's aligned with you.
Exactly.
I do want to take a turn on the podcast before we get out of here. And I would love to hear your thoughts on these words.
Yeah.
Try to summarize your thoughts in like 1 or 2 sentences. We're going to do like a rapid word thing.
Okay, what's the word?
All right, perfect. We're going to start off with invisible. What comes to mind?
Invisible. Wow. I feel like people who don't have a voice, or people that, are going through a lot in life and they feel like they're not able to, stand up for themselves or communicate or use their voice to get what they want and need in life. I feel like they can kind of feel like they're invisible in a way. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay. Anxiety.
Man, first thing that come to mind is social media, because that gives a lot of people anxiety, especially people that create or entrepreneurs. Would be like, man, like, how are we going to be seen? How are we going to be perceived? If this shit blow up and the trolls come out, I'm going to be anxious. There was a small period of time, when I see the trolls or the haters coming out for me, like on the recent shit that been really blowing up. And like, I had a few moments of anxiety where I'm like, if I refresh, I don't know what I'm going to see. I'm like, I could see something that could make me feel some type of way. But now I'm just like, man, fuck all that, man. Let me just focus on the positivity. Yeah.
That's true. Sacrifice.
The first thing that comes to mind when I hear that is you got to sacrifice to manifest what you want in life. You got to give up something. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's your time.
What do you feel like you gave up?
A lot of self-limiting beliefs I gave up doubting myself. I gave up, you know, quitting and being inconsistent. Gave up pouting and being entitled. Give up sleep sometimes.
Sure.
You know, give up certain levels of comfortability. I had to give up living in my hometown. I mean, I had to move all the way out west in a place where it's the jungle, where many artists go and end up on Skid Row. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah, I had some buzz when I moved out there, but it's not like I was already a millionaire. I was already had made it. Like, no, I'm still coming up. And so sacrifice is something that I stand on as far as like being a testament to, like, bro, you got to be able to put whatever excuses you make into yourself, sacrifice that, kill that shit, put that to the side, throw it away, put it in the box, close the box, do whatever you got to do, but it got to go. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, cause you got to make room.
Acceptance,
accepting yourself, accepting who you are, coming to terms with that, and then finding a way to, you know, be your most authentic version around whoever, you know, and wherever you are, being yourself, accepting yourself. That's something that I'm, you know, feeling good about doing, because I feel like, you know, no matter what space I go into, whether it's this one, whether it's my show tomorrow, whether it's, you know, a business meeting, whatever, I'm going to be me. I'm going to dress the same. I'm going to talk the same. Because I just come to a level of acceptance for who I am. So that's just what I'm going to have to embody.
Okay. And purpose.
Your purpose should be in alignment with your passion. That'll give you the blueprints, you know what I'm saying, on how to go about unlocking your purpose deeper. Go funnel yourself deeper into your passion. You know, lock in on that, and your purpose will be revealed through that. You know what I'm saying? And it's my purpose, I feel like, has been revealed to me more and more as time goes by. And, you know, also another word that is adjacent with purpose, I feel like for me right now, is responsibility. Like, just because, like, I'm starting to see this shit is moving more, and the people that I'm servicing, I have a responsibility to be authentic in my purpose. And for me, what that looks like right now is just being myself and bringing my unique expressions and my unique experiences of what my life looks like on the microphone, because that's what's empowering people, you know? So that's what I have to do, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Depression. That's something that I feel like, you know, we all dealt with or deal with. That's something I dealt with for a long time in life. I feel like I'm finally at that space where I've come out of it, or I've, you know, transitioned out of it. Maybe this year or last year is somewhere I feel like I've transitioned out of it. But that's something I dealt with, you know, for a long time in certain ways, where you just, like, you know, can be down in your feelings. A lot of times you don't even know why. It's because, like, you're not doing things for yourself that you need to do. When it comes to depression, I feel like a lot of times we be slaves to it, or we look at it as, like, you know, this boogeyman thing where it's like, damn, depression got me in a chokehold. Like, he got me. It's like, no, you got yourself, bruh. Like, you know, it's a hard pill to swallow when you got to look in the mirror and say, I got to be accountable for elevating out of my own depression. Like, a woman ain't going to do it for me. A job ain't going to do it. Money damn sure ain't going to do it for me. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things where we feel like it'll do it. Like, yeah, once I get my first million, I ain't going to be depressed no more. No, you're going to be more depressed, because now you're going to put yourself in a place where you're using that shit destructively. Then you probably going to go broke. And then once you got money and then you broke, you really going to be down bad. You really going to be depressed then. It's going to be the worst depression you ever feel. But I feel like different things to counteract that is discipline, self-love. Self-love, I feel like, you know, it's hard to channel that when you're feeling depressed, because you a lot of times that can come with feelings of self-hate. But got to give yourself grace through it and know that, you know, life going to come with the peaks and valleys, bro. So when you down, a good way I feel like to channel depression is to find something creative to channel into. Like, you can draw, you could use how you feeling down to draw a painting. You could make a sad song. You could listen to some sad music to feel like somebody can relate to me, you know what I'm saying? And you know, in those moments, just got to trust there's some light at the end of the tunnel, you know? Even when I was feeling that, I always knew that, like, it was temporary at the same time.
And imagination.
Think big, think outside of the box. If you feel like it's too big of a dream or too big of an idea where it's unobtainable, or I might not be able to do that, that's where you need to be at.
Right.
Because, you know what I'm saying, like, world is going to give you that. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like, oh yeah, I could be good. I can make $50,000, you know, for the rest of my life. Or you're like, wonder what 5 million think like, you know what I'm saying? Or just your creativity, your childlike energy also comes with imagination, you know. And a lot of times when we in the 3D world, we in our adulting world, we paying bills and all this shit. Sometimes it's hard to keep that intact when we got so many things in front of us. We got mouths to feed, we got bills to pay. You know, in the 3D realm, it's hard to keep your imagination intact. But that's something where, you know, think about being a child. Like if you get into some childlike reflection or childhood reflection or meditation, whatever it would be, I feel like that could always re-spark your imagination in a way. And then sometime to re-spark your imagination, you got to kind of cut the stimuli. You got to kind of get into being bored. When you're scrolling all the time, you know, I'm guilty of that shit, but when you're scrolling all the time, that can put the imagination on the back burner just because you're seeing everybody else's imagination, seeing everybody else what they're doing. Right. Turn this shit off for a minute, you know, get bored for a couple of days and ideas.
Perfect. And yes, I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time out and coming here and giving your insights and sharing your story. I feel like we have so much more to dive into.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So a part 2, hopefully.
Yeah, part 2 would be dope, you know, maybe for the next album, like after some shit that happened, some new things that transpired and got to a whole another stage, that'd be dope. But super grateful for the time. It was beautiful to be able to, you know, express freely and have this platform to build and just give the world, you know, a deeper look into the mystery, you know. Because I ain't got no interviews, I ain't really got no articles, so, you know, now we're going to get out the shadows even more so and just continue to do that work.
Yes, perfect. And let everyone know about your tour, independent tour that you funded, and, you know, where they can find you and, you know, share all your information.
Yes, indeed. So the Road Less Traveled Tour. This is my first independent tour for my album, The Road Less Traveled. And it's going to be a nationwide tour. We find in different cities. It's all intimate vibes. I've done LA and Miami so far. We got Atlanta tomorrow. Atlanta is going to be so crazy because this one sold the most tickets. Yeah. So I get a lot of love down here. That might be
a sign too.
Yeah. I know it is a sign. Atlanta is definitely calling. Atlanta energy is calling. In January, we're going to do Texas, Austin, Dallas, and Houston. Going to be January 19th, 20th, and 21st. Sometime in February, it's going to be East Coast, you know, Philly, Brooklyn, D.C. We go hit the Midwest. We go to Chicago, Indianapolis, just a whole bunch of different things. But the dates will come, so just stay tuned. You know, make sure you follow me on everything at Fr33sol. And, it's a beautiful event also because it's not just a concert. And this is kind of what's helping make these moments really, really powerful for people because it's really like a spiritual ceremony. It's like a transformative event where it's like we going through a whole experience. It's not just like I pop out on the stage, sing for 30 minutes and get out of there. You know, it's something where it's a deeper connection, you know, so it's very intentionally crafted. Yes. And this is, you know, a new realm for hip hop shows. It's a safe space. It's somewhere where you could be yourself and convene with like-minded people and build relationships with people that's your tribe. You know what I'm saying? Like if you rock with me, you might meet your wife there. You might meet your creative partner there. You might meet the next producer for your album there. It's just a space where, you know, we're all coming together and cultivating something great, you know, outside of just my music. So I'm really, really grateful to be on this journey. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to service the people live. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Sure.
It was a beautiful time.
I think it was amazing.
Hopefully we can do it again soon.
Yep, I'm excited. I'm going to the concert tomorrow.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
You know, I look forward to that as well. So thank you all for tuning in to Wholistic Conversations. Once again, I'm your host, Brittany, and today we have Fr33sol. So I hope you all enjoy it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. Okay? Peace.
Much love. Peace.
Perfect.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.